Here I have a subject of opening heart today. I think it's a surgeon's job, not mine. It's just a joke, right? It is interesting. Heart for Asian tradition, particularly Tibetan Buddhism, that is Asian religion. For Asian tradition, the consciousness, the mind, the person, and the being, the self, supposed to be remaining in the midst of the heart. Heart represents that. But in the West, we think about it, brain up here, thinking up here, all thoughts are here. Maybe there is a relationship between the here and here. I don't know. But that is the way how I've been brought up, and that is how Buddhism and any other Asian tradition, religions think and talk about it. So in other words, it's not necessarily opening the heart, but it's opening our mind. Be open-minded, and which is, of course, number one, important. Because if you have a closed mind, and then we will never let any good information and good thing do not let come in. I don't remember exactly, but I used to work in Indian radio station. In India, it's funny, one radio station throughout the country, only one, it's called an All India Radio. So when I used to work there for Tibetan language broadcasting, so I see quote from Gandhi. Every time when I walk near the main gate, there's a big quote from Gandhi on the wall. Unfortunately, I don't remember the quote. But the gist of it is this: let all the windows be open, let all the airs blow through, let it freely follow, something like that, so that you don't close, you don't remain closed, and that is the Gandhi's idea. So opening, so flow, exchange the air. There will be no stale air, and the fresh air comes in. So that is important, because all of us, no matter whatever we say or we deny, but we have a so strong selfish interest, very strong, narrow, selfish interest is so almost our theme, our goal. Rightly so, if you don't help yourself, who else will help? However, but the selfishness alone is not the way that we should spend our life. Our life is extremely important, precious, and very valuable, even more so for us. Because our open mind really opens to all kinds of things that human being can achieve other than material achievement. We can achieve a lot. We can achieve joy. We can achieve happiness. We can achieve freedom from our negative thoughts, emotions. We can, according to Buddha, we can achieve Buddhahood. And that is important for us. All these layers. But all this opportunity will not be valuable for us if we close our heart or close our mind, try to be very narrow. It's not a criticism, please remember, but some people would like to be very conservative, not only just a conservative, but almost extremist. And that is not opening. Actually, what you're doing is you're closing opportunities valuable for you. You're just cutting yourself out, shutting yourself. And that is generally number one, the openness. Open yourself to the opportunity, whether it is spiritual, material, or everything, whatever it is, without losing your own principle. That is also important. Some people may like to be open, and have no backbones. If you don't have some backbones to hold, then it's very hard in the spiritual path. So it is just like even in our material world, you have to have a backbone to hold. That is democracy. With the democracy and democratic ideas, and then you will be open for anything. It becomes icing on cake. Likewise, in our spiritual path, also you have to have your principle. Whatever it is, one of those great traditions, whether it is Judeo-Christian tradition or Hindu-Buddhist tradition, these are greatly well-known, accepted traditions. So on that basis, and then open yourself for any information and all that. And that is the one way of looking at the opening. Another layer, little deeper than that opening heart is also not simply just opening yourself, your heart, to wisdom and compassion. That's just one thing. But I'm going a little beyond that. Then opening heart, to me, sometimes when you look at your spiritual part, different layers, different steps, different layers, different steps, you get some deeper meaning, not from the intellectual capacity alone, but internally you get, I do not know how to describe that in the words. Even you may be saying the same prayers that you've been saying for, in my case, 70 years. Maybe reading the same book, maybe 70th time or something, but you have different way of understanding, different message that gets in with that. The whole thing, whole ritual or whole practice will follow on that particular line, functions. And it has something different. Although it may be the same book you're looking at it, maybe the same page you're turning, maybe the same word you're saying, but something other than the word, something other than this meaning, something other than the written message, something deeper, which not only once appears, but it's whole through, whatever the 2-3 hours practice you have, it's sort of thread through. When it's thread through. And then that is, I think, it is another little layer deeper than making yourself valuable, accept, open, entertain, compassion, love, and this and that is a little deeper than that. Then even beyond deeper than that will be experience and knowledge, experience. Not only the words give you imagination, ideas, but it's actualizing the whatever the word says, it's sort of becoming. It happens not only with the spiritual practitioners, but spiritual practitioner with, I have a friend, a musician. I will not name it because more or less all of you know. So what happens is that person told me, and then every music that a person composes, and the words becomes image, a Buddha figure, and every lyrics that comes out becomes a dance step on piano. So literally happens. So that's that sort of thing. Maybe the example maybe not right for you, but that's sort of another way of opening. In other words, the subject, whatever been thinking, mentioning, become actualized and become actual life living. It's not only the thoughts, but it real becomes. It's not only the sound, it just becomes that. And so there are a number of ways when you say open. I think our first step, that what we as an individual could do, can do, is just get away from the narrow restrictions and making yourself valuable for messages and things like that. In my personal case, occasionally, whether I like it or sometimes even obligated to go to church for service. And when I attend there, the words are all wonderful. And each one of them gives me different meaning than everybody else in the church hears. Maybe I should leave it there because I'm making fool of myself here. So then it doesn't become a difference whether it is Judeo-Christian or whether it is Hindu-Buddhist or whatever. Something goes beyond denominations of religions, labels, sort of going beyond that. And all of them are possible because when you make yourself opening and willing to, but basic principle what you have to keep it is also important, because if it is virtue, non-virtue, hurting people and not hurting people, if you don't keep that as a principle, you like experiment everything, and that will not be right, because sometimes some people engage to a miserable negativities, like a traditional Hindu-Buddhist, sort of almost like a mythological story somebody called Angulimala. So the rosary of thumbs. So by the wrong master telling that Sikha disciple, if you can kill 1,000 human beings, cut their thumbs and wear it, and come to me, then you come to me and I will liberate you. So that's some kind of story like that. So you should not fall in that type of thing with the open mind and thinking, well, I'm open for everybody else, everything else. So that will be very harmful. So that's why keeping principle, background principle of virtue versus non-virtuous. There is no such accepted religion in the world who accept non-virtuous is ways and means of liberating. But there are spiritual, claimed to be spiritual path, which is violence by nature. So hurt yourself, hurt others as much as you can hurt, and that much liberation you get. Sometimes some extremist positions, you see all this. So these things should not fall in these things. But all of you are intelligent, educated, wonderful person. you're better than that. So keeping your common sense and your educational understanding as a guideline and a sort of alert and where you are going through, and then open and so let the information flow through, and then it is your choice to select or reject. After all, you have education, you're an intelligent person, you're not robot. And robot, if you're a robot, you'll be programmed. So you do according to that. And then if you're programmed to jump, you jump. If you're programmed to dance, you dance, right? But so we're not. All of you are intelligent, so use your mind and follow that path. And then in your case, fortunately or unfortunately, I'm here, and the jewel heart is here, and we give you a very good path, honestly, really solid, wonderful path.